up, reader fam? Today I'm bringing you my February book haul. I don't know why, but I'm especially excited for this book haul just because I've been so excited about reading again recently. Not that I haven't been excited about reading, but I just feel like I have this refreshed love for reading right now. Like, I just want to read everything under the sun. I know that's not possible, but you know, a boy can dream. And I'm just so excited for each and every book that I'm about to show you. So without further ado, let's start talking about the books that I picked up in the month of February. First up here, I have the Booksplosion book of the month for the month of February, and that book is Wapa! Reign the Earth by A.C. Gaughen. And this month we are working with Bloomsbury, and we actually have a live show date set for March 3rd, and our live show is going to be on Caddy-tastic's channel, I believe. I think that's where it's going to be. Yes, that's where it's going to be. And it's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you haven't picked this book up yet, you should go pick it up and join us for the live show because our discussions are always so great. We had such an interesting discussion last month, and you guys are missing out if you're not joining us every month for the Booksplosion Book Club. It's the best! So let me tell you what this book is all about. It sounds epic, and I can't wait to dive into it. This story essentially follows this girl who is attempting to end this devastating war that's taking place in her kingdom with this other kingdom. And to do this, she agrees to an arranged marriage with the king of the nearby kingdom. She must leave everything she knows behind in order to move to this kingdom. That might even mean leaving her Elemente abilities behind. Which, now that I think about it, I don't think she can really leave behind those abilities, but I think she's going to try to suppress the abilities. And those who are Elemente are people who can control earth, fire, air, and water. And the place where our main character is moving is a place where people who are Elemente are tortured, beaten down, and disposed of. They're pretty much not tolerated in the area where our main girl is moving. So Shayla, our main character, is faced with a lot of tough decisions regarding Elemente, regarding her new husband, and a rebellion that's beginning. This book just sounds chaotic, and I am ready for it. I am ready for one heck of a wild ride. Also, it sounds like this book just has an epic main female lead, and it sounds like she's on a mission to cause some havoc, but mostly just to help out her people. I've heard amazing things about A.C. Gaughen's past books, which has me even more excited to read this book. If I end up loving this book, then I am for sure gonna go back and check out some of her past work. I've also been reading just a lot of contemporary stories lately, and I'm getting this need deep down inside of me to read a fantasy book. And that need inside of me is reaching out towards this book. I'm ready to devour it. I really hope it's a fast, dramatic, and action-packed read, because that's what I'm needing right now. Please be all of those things. Take me on a wild ride. I'm being just as dramatic as I hope this book is going to be. The next book I picked up randomly because I was really intrigued by the title alone, and that is Dr. Bird's Advice for Sad Poets by Evan Roskos. I literally did not look into what this book was all about. I was just like, that title alone has me wanting to know what the heck is going to go down in this story. But then I did a little bit of research and found out what this book is going to be about. This story follows our main character named James, and he's dealing with a lot. He's facing depression and anxiety, and he seeks out the help of an imaginary therapist, which ends up being a pigeon. Now, when I picked up this book, I didn't know that the title of the book would be so literal. I didn't know that our main character would actually be seeking advice from a freaking bird. I thought he was just going to a doctor named Dr. Bird, but that's not the case. He talks to a bird, and that bird gives him advice. Now, obviously, it's not actually the bird talking to him. It's like him in his head giving himself his own advice through a pigeon, I think. Sounds kind of weird, but I like weird books. Like I said, though, something about this title just had me super curious. So very curious. I also just love poetry, so the fact that poets was in the title had me intrigued. In fact, I love sad poetry because it makes me feel things, and I like feeling things. I am kind of nervous that this one is going to hurt my heart, though, because if it's got sad in the title, then it's bound to be a sad book, right? So hopefully I don't leave this book hysterically crying or anything. Next up, I picked up a book that I think a lot of you guys will be excited that I finally picked up, and that is Simon vs. the Homo Sapiens Agenda by Becky Albertalli. This is the special edition with exclusive bonus material. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm not sure what the exclusive material is. I think it's like an interview with the author and then like a little bit of extra writing or something. I'm not really sure. I'll find out when I get to it. But this story is about this boy named Simon who is gay and he's not out of the closet. He's been emailing back and forth with this anonymous person named Blue, who is someone in his school who is also closeted, but Simon just doesn't know who he's talking to. Simon one day accidentally stays signed into his email in the library, and he just gets up and leaves the computer, not thinking about the fact that somebody could come and see all his emails that he's been emailing back and forth with Blue. And that's just what happens. Somebody comes to the computer, looks at all the emails, and now that person is blackmailing Simon. That's pretty much all that I know about this book. I've been wanting to pick this book up for a while, but the hype train when this book first came out was so scary. I didn't want to jump on board right away. I just kind of wanted to watch it pass first, and now I'm feeling confident in picking it up. I'm also not gonna lie, I really wanted to pick this one up before I saw the movie, because the movie comes out next month and your boy wants to be prepared. The movie trailer made the story look hilarious, so I'm hoping that this book is super extra funny because I'm in the mood to read a super extra funny book. So please be hilarious, Simon. Next up, my friend Elena sent me this book, The Wild Robot by Peter Brown. This is the story of a robot who one day wakes up on an island all alone. She begins to make a life for herself on this island by becoming friends with the animals and adapting to the environment. But then one day her past is revealed and it causes a lot of chaos. This is a middle grade story and I love me some middle grade books. Y'all are sleeping on middle grade books. You need to wake up and appreciate them because they're excellent. Especially if you're not into romance being a big part of the plot. Middle grade's where it's at. Also, this book has illustrations in it and illustrations are always a win in my book. Next, I have one of those look what BookTube made me do buys, and that is Every Heart a Doorway. Everyone on BookTube seems to adore this book, so hopefully I'll adore it too. This book has been compared to Miss Peregrine's, so I have extra high expectations now. This story takes place in a boarding school type situation. We've got this place called Eleanor's Home for Wayward Children, and the people that come to this place are people who have been through portals to magical lands, and they come back and they are now facing the real world, which obviously comes with difficulty. I don't know how great of a description that is, but every time people talk about this book, they don't even talk about what it's about. They're just like, it's amazing! But that's all I really know, folks. What I also know is that I love short books and I cannot lie. Hey, if this book is anything like Miss Peregrine's, then I'll probably cry. And the last book that I picked up recently is Sightwitch by Susan Dennard. Sightwitch is the story of a girl named Ryber who is supposed to get Sightwitch abilities. What are Sightwitch abilities, you may be asking? I don't know, you're gonna have to read the book just like me to find out. But all her sisters who have Sightwitch abilities are one day summoned to the mountains and they never return. Meanwhile, Ryber is like, are you guys gonna come back? Or am I gonna have to go to the mountains to find you? So she kicks back, turns on some Netflix and waits it out. If you couldn't tell, I'm just kidding. She goes into the freaking mountains and tries to figure out where her sisters have gone. This might not be the best idea because she doesn't fully have her abilities yet, so she's heading out to face something that could possibly be really dangerous. This is actually a prequel novella to the Truthwitch series. So far, the Truthwitch series contains Truthwitch Book 1 and Windwitch Book 2, and now Sightwitch, which takes place before Truthwitch. I love Susan Dennard so much, like I am a huge fan of her. Even though I haven't read all of her books yet, I'm technically a fake fan if you want to call me that, but I am a dedicated fan. Like I am in it for the long haul. I will be buying all of her books in the future. You might be wondering why I love Susan Dennard so much. That's because she gives the greatest writing advice and she is just always willing to help out new writers. If you're looking for writing advice, she has so many resources online, whether that be her newsletter, her website, or her Instagram. She is constantly giving out helpful tips and insights on writing. And I also just think that she is a fantastic writer and she's overcome so much in her writing career already. So even though I'm technically a fake fan and I haven't read all of her books yet, I still think she's amazing and I will continue to support her. And I will be for sure reading Windwitch and Sightwitch here pretty soon. After this fantasy drought is over for me, it's gonna be raining fantasy books all over me. Even though all those hardback books coming down on me will be painful, it'll be worth it. So those are all the books that I plan to pick up in the month of February. You guys should let me know down below in the comments if you have read any of the books that I mentioned and your thoughts on them down below in the comments. Also, let me know down below in the comments a book that you picked up in the month of February. Also, if you are interested in any of these books, I will leave links down below to the Goodreads as well as the book depository links down below in the description. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. I post videos frequently on this channel, so if you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and click the little bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye, choo!